Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. I've got a couple community polls indicating that many XRP holders have just chosen to hold strong. And there are some indications now that pretty well everybody that wanted to get out of the position of holding XRP has pretty well done so. And we're seeing accumulation take place, the first glimmer of that actually happening. Well, technically, the first metric I saw that indicated me that some people were taking, be it the minority position, there were some strong numbers showing that XRP account creations have been up substantially ever since the news of the SEC going after Ripple got out. And so there are all sorts of people that are just taking the contrarian approach and saying, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jump on in. This represents an opportunity to me, which is fascinating. Now, of course, I fully recognize, and I'm always going to say this, that holding XRP is now more risky. I've decided I'm willing to take on that risk, and I personally, if I didn't have the exposure that I have to XRP, I'd feel more nervous because I happen to, for a number of reasons, feel optimistic that the litigation the claims rather that SEC has brought against Ripple, it's either going to end in settlement or Ripple's going to do just fine in court, at least in terms of finding that XRP is not itself a security. But I'll be running through that. And also, how about Goldman Sachs? Have you heard? This is the news the other day. I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. Goldman Sachs is entering the world of crypto, so I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to show you some of what they said just less than a year ago about how awful cryptocurrency is, and now they're jumping on in. I called it. Plenty to talk about here, but I do want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about these types of topics relating to cryptocurrency, and I run this YouTube channel purely as a hobby, which is my most favoriteest hobby I've ever had, but that is all that it is. Mind you, as I record this, XRP is at 28.1 cents, so it's pretty well in a consolidation phase. It has been for a number of days now. Bitcoin at $36,136. Market cap a little over $1 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 66.27%. So it's been actually going down over the last few days in particular. Not insanely, but it has been going down because altcoins have been picking up, so not surprising. We're still not in alt season, but picking up. And here's a tweet from Credible Crypto. Wrote, so far so good, enjoy your weekend everyone. And so he's a chart analyst, and this is there you go, here's Bitcoin USD. So he's still thinking that it's going up. And by the way, the last thing that he said about XRP that I saw is that he was still anticipating it to, in the coming weeks perhaps, get back up to 46 cents or somewhere in the neighborhood of that. And he's not the only one. Here's a new piece from Dennis Surchuk. He writes for You Today, and so he's a chart analyst as well. And he sees potentially in the short term XRP hitting maybe closer to the 37 cent region. So he wrote at the bottom here, on the bigger time frame, XRP is in the accumulation zone before a potential upward move to the resistance of 37 cents. The lines of the MACD indicator are about to switch to green, which will confirm the bullish price action. So we'll see, take it for what it's worth, but this is what I keep seeing from all sorts of chart analysts. Those are just two I thought I'd cite in this video. I'm not going to focus intensely on price in this video, but I did want to go ahead and mention that's still what I'm seeing. We're just kind of in a holding pattern in the meantime. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Magic, and he put out a poll, and it says, to my XRP holders only, did you get rid of your XRP, or are you holding it through the SEC litigation? And you can see 73.4% responded, hodling my XRP strong. 26.6% responded, too risky, dumped my XRP. And I don't blame anybody that wanted to, look, it's like, I'll always say, yeah, it's definitely more risky now. And I don't blame anybody that chose to dump their XRP, but that's why it was particularly interesting, because there's been more sell pressure on XRP over the last few weeks. That's why it dropped so dramatically, right? It's at its lowest, I think it got down to about 17 cents before rebounding, ultimately jumping up to 35 cents, and now you know where it is, around 28 cents as I record this anyway. And so it's interesting. So the people that are in the community following, like, it's understand, like Magic, he's got, let's see, 32,500 followers. And so the type of people that engage on Twitter, perhaps they're of a different mindset. I don't know if it's just that they're more informed, but like so many people clearly dump their XRP. Is it really the case that it took that big of a hit if 73% were still holding. I don't know. Or is it just that Magic has an audience that's, more informed and understand what they hold and are willing to take the additional risk? I'm not sure, but it's interesting nonetheless that so many, because I fall in that category too. I didn't sell a single XRP. I'm just going to sit back and wait for this all to work itself out. And here's another poll. Same thing. This comes from King Solomon, who wrote, "What have you done since the SEC announcement?" And you can see 39.9%, just jumped up to 40% as I'm sitting here, hold all of their XRP. And then another 42.5% not just held, but bought more. So over 80% right now, 82.5% just between those two. 7.6% responded that they sold all of it, and 9.9% traded to accumulate. So it's interesting. Two different individuals with a lot of XRP followers. So King Solomon has 35,000 followers. It's kind of interesting. I'm sure there's some overlap between the two of them. Also, there's got to be some, right? But I just found this fascinating, and so there was a tweet in response to Magic's poll here by Crypto Assets Guy, who wrote, "100% confident XRP will pump hard after the SEC litigation. By hard, I mean it can easily reach all-time high $3.65 in a matter of days." To which Magic responded, "I think if the news is favorable, we could definitely see a massive rally. Good luck out there." And I'm of the same mindset, and so, there's no way to know for sure what's going to happen, but I pointed out in my last video, there was a cryptocurrency, there's a company named Kick, and they were selling their Kin token, ended up having to pay a fine to the SEC, but once there was regulatory clarity, the damn thing jumped up inside of a few months, like 1,600% or something like that. It's just crazy. And so it makes you wonder, given that XRP price is suppressed as a result of what's going down right now, what's going to happen if we get satisfactory regulatory clarity and it's not negative? Makes you wonder. We'll see here. Here is ledger.exposed. This is the XRP rich list. And most of the time I've been showing this as of late. You can see that the trend was down. So, depending on the percentile you're looking at, some of them are flat, but for the first time since this news broke, I can see that some of them are just barely edging back up. So people, it's just one metric to consider, but, you can look at like the top 1%, they're starting to accumulate again, It's just interesting to see. So I just thought I'd point it out. I still personally think that XRP is going to rally at some point, even without regulatory clarity. I just don't think it's going to be as big as it would have been if it were just in the clear before all this nonsense broke out here. All right, now into this. God, this is so funny. Here's a piece from CoinDesk, May 27th, 2020. Goldman Sachs says cryptocurrencies are not an asset class. Cryptocurrencies are not an asset. I remember covering this when it happened and just comparing them to like JP Morgan, who found a way to monetize. Because mind you, JP Morgan, they were just as anti-crypto as Goldman Sachs until they weren't, until they found a way to monetize it. And so you can see here's a piece from Fortune 2. Leaked documents show what Goldman Sachs really thinks of Bitcoin. News that Goldman Sachs would be briefing clients about Bitcoin set the cryptocurrency world abuzz on Wednesday morning. Would the famous investment bank deliver a seal of approval to digital currency? Would the briefing cause the price of Bitcoin to soar? Alas for crypto fans, the answer came as a resounding no when slides of Goldman's presentation, dryly titled U.S. Economic Outlook and Implications of Current Policies for Inflation, Gold, and Bitcoin, leaked on social media. One slide offered the withering perspective that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are not even an asset class in the first place, and that they offer neither cash flow nor a hedge against inflation. And that's kind of funny. Cameron Winklevoss, he responded to that, he wrote, in response to Bitcoin does not generate cash flow like bonds. He wrote, because it's not a bond and the sky is blue, which I kind of got a kick out of. So then again, this was May 27th, 2020. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf for sending this next piece my way from CoinDesk. Check this out. What's the headline now from CoinDesk? Goldman Sachs to enter crypto market soon with custody play source. I should have paused there. Play. Source. And so as soon as I saw this news, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Because I called it. I was like, as soon as they find a way to monetize this, they're going to be jumping on in. And so it's comical to me that they're going to be jumping on into this to provide custody of an asset that's not an asset, because they said Bitcoin, it's not even an asset class. So what is it then? I don't know, but they're going to provide custody of it. Maybe they don't know what the hell it is. It's not an asset class, but you can put it here though. Oh my god, I just got a kick out of this. So here you go. U.S. banking powerhouse Goldman Sachs has issued a request for information (RFI) to explore digital asset custody, according to a source inside the bank. When asked about timing, the Goldman source said the bank's custody plans would be evident soon. Goldman's digital asset custody RFI was circulated to at least one well-known crypto custody player toward the end of 2020. And here's a quote. Like JP Morgan, we have issued an RFI looking at digital custody. We are broadly exploring digital custody and deciding what the next step is, said the Goldman source, who asked not to be named. Here you go. An RFI on crypto custody was issued by JP Morgan October 2020, as reported by The Block. The Goldman insider said the bank's digital assets initiative was part of a broad digital strategy, citing stablecoins in relation to recent missives from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So there you go. And it's not just them too. I think in this piece they cited. Yeah, here's what I would find. When asked about J.P. Morgan, Goldman, and Citi, the three big U.S. banks most are watching in relation to crypto custody, Monica said, "We are talking to all these guys." And that's the Anchorage president, Diogo Monica. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but that was the first federally chartered crypto bank, which that news that came out a few days ago, and I covered it. So how about that? All the big guys are getting in begrudgingly and late. They could have done it sooner, but they were naysayers until they weren't. Now they're going to make a bunch of money on it. Well, how about that? And so the cool thing is, you were here before all of them. I just don't know how Goldman's going to hold an asset that's not an asset, though. Like, how do they do that? I don't know. It's like a magic trick. Well, it's a good time here. I'll wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.